Hi guys, this is Alex Osowski from CoachMePlus here on May 16th, 2018 for CoachMePlus Webinar number 3. Of course, we're going to be going over the typical things we usually come over on new features with the product review, question and answer. Some of the new features we're going to go over include sticky headers for your rows and also columns within the group dashboards. So when you slide around, you can see how those change. And then also we're going to go through how you can add and edit coaches and athletes within the CoachMePlus application. And then also athletes being able to upload their own library item, which involves a permission addition, but not really that terrible of a setup. The second thing we're going to do is review the product. So we're going to go through how to create a questionnaire, a few different types of the questions, and then also an associated visualization set to go with those as well. So we're going to start with the new features. Like I mentioned, we're going to go through the sticky headers and rows, managing your teams with creating and editing athletes and also coaches, and then also athletes being able to upload their own files. So we're here at the CoachMePlus home screen. The first thing we're going to go to is check out those sticky headers and rows inside of the group dashboard. If you go to Athlete Central, I'm going to pull up my group that has my group dashboard. So I have a few different things in here. I have a bunch of different things in here, but I don't really have that many athletes here. What we're going to do instead is I'm going to actually go to the extra group where I have a bunch of different athletes. I might have a bunch of different rows, columns, whatever it might be. And as you can see, as I go up and down through here, it slides up top here as well. So you can follow that all the way down to the bottom. And the same thing applies if you have a large number of columns that span outside of the page. It'll start scrolling over the names along as you go as well. So that's the first new feature we have for you guys, is the sticky headers and rows inside of the group dashboard. If I go back home here and I go into the app view, I'll be able to see exactly what I see within the CoachMePlus application on the mobile version, but also on the desktop. So within here, you might be working on the field, the court, whatever it might be on the ice. You might be talking to your athletes and engaging them with this or that. And maybe one of them forgets their password, or you have a new athlete come on. You can easily edit and add athletes and coaches right on the spot within your mobile application. So whether it's on your iPad or your phone or your computer, whatever it might be, you can do it right through Manage Your Teams. So for example, if I wanted to add a new athlete, I can do that right here. I'm going to select the Add button, and I can add that athlete right in here. So I can select the training group that they're in and everything like that. And if I do that, I have all that, 51, here we go, password, set a password, everything, we're all good. And the nice part about that is we can save that, and then we can also save and create another one as well. So that allows us to quickly add and or edit our actual athletes' login credentials and everything like that right on the spot. If I wanted to go in and edit that specific athlete, I can go in there and I can hit the pencil over here and I can edit all of these. So if they forgot their password, I can of course change it down here. Whatever it might be, I can edit it right on the spot and then update that right in there. So that's for an athlete. Say you have a new coach that's joining your staff, and you want to add them in as well. If I go all the way back to the home page of the menu, we're going to see accounts over here on the left-hand side. So I can go in here, and of course I can edit all my athletes like I could before. So I can edit whatever it might be here or there, whatever users I have. If I want to create a new one, I can of course create a new athlete like I just did, or I can also create a new coach. So I select create a new coach, give them a first and last name. I can add them to a training group if I'd like. Of course I have a coaches group here as well. If I go in and edit in a valid email address, I can of course add him right in there. And I can add them any roles I wanted to. I can add it right there, and any specific permissions as well. I can set a password, upload a photo for them, and I can save. And then they're right in the list, and of course I can search them if I wanted to, and they're right in there. So I can email a welcome email, or I can send a password reset, or I can actually manually edit any of their information right here. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to actually view exactly what an athlete's going to be able to view. So if I log out here and log in as my athlete, I can see that right here as well. So I log in as an athlete, whether I'm on my mobile device or I'm on my computer, whatever it might be, and I have a library right here. So if I go into my library, where typically you as a coach will be able to share files among yourself and the other coaches and also your athletes, you can see that you have a full system here as well. So you have that sitting right here. You're all good to go. Whatever items they need to be able to see, they can see it from you as a coach. Well, traditionally, you could never actually have an athlete upload something back to you. Now, with the latest updates, you can actually add a library item right from here. So if I select that, and I select a file here, whatever it might be, I have whatever file. Okay, I can give it a name, and then I can give it any description. I can save that right into my library, and if there's any issues with it, maybe it might not be the right file size, there'll be an issue that says dismiss. So if I got rid of that and I actually uploaded something I could, so I have a photo, whatever it might be, and I hit save, it'll add it right into the library there. So, of course, that will only be able to be possible if you add the permission for athlete home upload to my library. So you have to go, again, in your settings section and add that permission to the athlete role for them to be able to upload files to their own library. So the next section here is going to be the product review. So like I mentioned, we're going to create a questionnaire today, and we're going to create some associated visuals with that. So we're going to do things like sleep hours, mood, soreness, alertness and focus. We're going to also add a body chart for pain and soreness, and then also urine-specific gravity. So a few different types of questions here that we can use the different question types that are available inside CoachMePlus for you to set up a questionnaire. So what we're going to do is, if we go in as a coach, we'll be able to see exactly what we need to be able to see. So I'm in here as a coach. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Settings, Questionnaire, and then I'll see the three options I have here in my questionnaires menu. So of course you have your questionnaires, which are the overall containers, the questions, which are actually in the questionnaires themselves, and then also the responses. So I can go in here and I can see what's already been answered by my athletes here. If I go to questionnaires, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new questionnaire. So I'm just going to call it new daily questionnaire. I can give it a description. I can mark that it's active and when it's going to start. So let's just start it today. And if I leave it at blank here, it ends at, it'll go on forever until I inactivate it. And then I can choose if it's prompted on the home screen or not. So I'm going to leave that checked so they know they have to do this daily. And then what users or what roles. So I can either select individual users or I can select roles themselves. So I want all my athletes to get this. I'm going to select save, and then my questionnaire is right in there. So it's right here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the questions section. Inside of the question section, I'll see the ones that are already for my daily wellness questionnaire that are already in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make this a little bit easier on myself using our filters here. I'm going to go to questionnaire, and I'm going to filter out ones that are only in my new daily questionnaire. So I select that and I hit filter, and I can see there's nothing in here yet. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add a new one using that green button in the upper right. I'm going to add it to my questionnaire. So I can add my title and my body, and I can add that right there. So when I do that, I'm going to see a bunch of different type choices. So there's a lot of different options, from buttons to ranges to different types of inputting data here. What we're going to do is I actually want what's called a slider, going from 1 to 12 hours of sleep. So if I go here, my range will allow me to do that. I have 0 to 12. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to make it required. So measurement choice is on the complicated side, where you can add different specific choices. And then rank, of course, we're going to leave that blank to autofill for the last question. So I'm going to save that, and it's right in my new daily questionnaire. So now we're just going to add a couple more different types. So if I go mood, I can add that right in there. I'm going to leave my body alone. So how do we want to rank our mood? Let's say I have all these different buttons here. I'm going to go buttons with colors. So I got a red, yellow, green system. So I'm going to add that right in there. I'm going to make that required as well, and hit save. So I might have a mood question. Let's say I have anything to indicate overall soreness. So I have overall soreness. Maybe I want to do that on a 1 to 10. And maybe I don't want to have any colors. I can do that. So I have that, and I'm going to hit save. The last one we're going to do is alertness or focus. I add that, and maybe I want that to be a number input, just a manual entry of whatever number they want on a range from 1 to 100. And I'm going to hit save. So there's a few different types of number input questions. But say I want to add in a body chart where my athletes can indicate pain or soreness. Any areas of pain or soreness. I can add that, and then in here there's going to be a type of question called body chart. So there's two different ones. There's body parts and there's body chart. Body parts will allow me to select any areas of soreness, and that's it. So I'm not going to have a number rating, I'm just going to have the actual parts. Body chart will allow me to select that area of the body and then select whatever number of pain or soreness between 1 and 10 is there. I'm not going to make this required because maybe my athlete might not be sore or have any pain or anything. So we're going to leave that as unchecked, and we're going to hit save. So I have my body chart right in there. I can see the type right in here. So I have a few different types. Last one we're going to do is we're going to do urine specific gravity question. So indicate your urine color when you first woke up this morning. And then the nice feature about CoachMePlus is we do have a question allowed for that. So there is a urine color selection right here, and I'm going to make that one required as well. So if I go in there, I can add that and save that, and we're good to go. So of course you have all these different types of questions, whatever it might be. Now you want to kind of check out how that's going to look. If you go over to the questionnaire section in the same menu, you can select that and hit show. So when you hit show, you're going to kind of see a little preview right here as well. So I have my full slider here, 0 to 12. I have the different types of questions I had. So I had my soreness, 1 to 10. Maybe I have this an 80. And then I also have my indicators right here as well for whatever areas of pain or soreness. Well, this is just the preview. If I were to go in as an athlete, maybe this is through the application or what's called a team access point. We're going to do that right here, so I can see that right here. This might be bookmarked on an iPad, this might be bookmarked on a computer, whatever it might be. I can actually go in and we can complete the questionnaires. So there's 2 of them assigned to Cole here. My daily wellness, which is already the preset one. These are just the basic 1 to 5 without any colors. Or the custom questionnaire that I just made, so the new daily questionnaire. So I have that, and I of course have this slider. So I'm going to go, I had 7 hours of sleep. How was my mood today? And whatever description, there's none for this one, so I'm going to go with 2. Overall soreness, I'm pretty sore. I'm going to go with 7. I'm going to give myself an 80 on my alertness or focus. And then I have my body chart right here where I indicate any areas of pain or soreness. So I can flip this around, do as I need right here. So I fell and hurt my left elbow yesterday while I was at practice, and maybe I was a little bit sore up in the upper arm section and lower arm as well. And then maybe my ankle got twisted as well pretty badly, so I can add that there as well. So I have that. I have all my areas of pain or soreness. And then I have my urine-specific gravity question down here, where I can indicate my urine color. So I was pretty hydrated. Of course, I can select 3. Okay, I'm doing all right. So I have all my questions answered here. And then my save prompt is going to come right on up. So I can select save, and then I am good to go. So if I exit out of this team access point, I go over into my Athlete Central. And I go to my athletes themselves. I just completed the questionnaire for Cole. I'm going to see that I don't actually have anywhere for my questionnaires stuff. So I just added all that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly add in a few different visuals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually clear this individual dashboard layout out so I can see exactly what I want to be able to see. So I'm going to clear these out. What we're going to do is we had a body chart question, right? So we're going to do we're going to add 30 days. Body versus the past 30 days is the associated visual with that. I'm going to add that in, and then I'm going to add in urine-specific gravity. So of course I have that. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to add that one in. So VI-measurement-USG-history. I'm going to select half width, and I'm going to add that in there as well. So I have my 2 types of questions there. And of course, I can go in and I can view that. But when I go in here, I'm going to see that I don't have the rest of my questions involved here. So I have my urine-specific gravity, whatever it might be. When I go in, I can actually create a new visual. So I'm going to add in a brand new visual just with the latest few values here. So I go into my visualization builder like those dashboards we built with the last webinar. We're going to create new dashboard. Okay, I'm going to select questionnaire history, and then there's a set of dashboards associated with just those ones as well. So with those is I'm going to select questionnaire history. I'm going to show the past 14 days. I'm going to show an average of 5, and then I have a second average if I wanted to, and then I can add whatever questions. So sleep hours, whatever it might be, I can add that right in here. I can have value thresholds associated, whatever it might be, I can add that right in there. So hours of sleep was 0 to 12. And then I can add, again, my other questions as well. So I can add whatever I wanted to. Mood was on a 1 to 5 scale. Same color thresholds. And we're going to keep on going. So whatever it might be, I can add those questions in. And then I'm going to add that dashboard straight to the visualization set as well. So I have my individual. So I have my questionnaire history. Add that right in. And then I can add whatever other types of visuals I wanted to in association with that questionnaire. And then also my athlete. So I add that in. And then Cole Wepner, I have my body chart, and then also my latest value, which was 7 and 2 for these 2 right here. So I've successfully created a questionnaire, assigned it out, and created associated visuals with it as well. So with that, we're going to transition into the question and answer section, which is only available in the live section of the webinar. So if you're watching after the fact, of course, feel free to tune in next time, and we'll be able to answer whatever questions you'd like to ask, which are available inside of the YouTube comments section. Of course, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything, so you can get the latest updates to the CoachMePlus platform. This also includes subscribing to the CoachMePlus newsletter that's available right on the website, CoachMePlus.com. So, like I mentioned, we reviewed some of the new features, sticky headers for your group dashboards, as well as the rows. You have managing your teams, so editing athletes, editing coaches, whatever it might be. Uploading files to the athlete library by the athlete themselves. Then also creating a questionnaire, assigning that out, and then adding whatever associated visuals you'd like with that. So thanks for joining us on the CoachMePlus webinar. And we're going to transition over to the question and answer section, like I said, available only in the live section.